All right. Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7. Today is Wednesday, which is Media Merchandise Review Wednesday. And that means we are going to be talking about 4 dinosaur books. Since we haven't talked about dinosaurs too much recently, I figured it was time. It's the first dinosaur review of the year, which is a good thing. These 4 books, 3 of them are pictured here, and they're the most recent ones, and then there's one fun one at the end, and it'll be a lot of fun. Promise. But before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this episode. Have you read any of these books? Do you have any of these books? What do you think of them? I really like all of them quite a bit, although one of them I haven't looked at in probably 5 decades. Maybe 4.5 decades. Let's say that to be fair. So, are you ready? We're going to dig into some more dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals.
Rampaging in an unsuspecting world, living creatures from the dawn of time. What havoc will they wreak? What lives will they destroy? What depths of panic and terror will they create? Dinosaurus, the most amazing, astounding, astonishing adventure of them all, beyond anything your mind can imagine, never before seen on the screen.
All right, we're kind of going in reverse chronological order because this is the newest book, the Monster's Bones, and the reason we're doing these books is because they're smaller, and getting them open to look at pictures and take pictures, and most of it's prose anyway, as you can tell. So I just wanted to do it this way. In the olden days, back in the day, before I started the podcast, as I have mentioned, enumerated, my original vision of doing this podcast was to review books, mostly books, because, books allegedly are on their way out, though if you look at my collection, they are not. But this is a wonderful book. It's The Discovery of T-Rex and How It Shook the World by David K. Randall. And it is about Barnum Brown and how he became a noted fossil finder, if not a paleontologist, because he did not have a degree or anything. Oh, there are some books in here. Here's Barnum Brown, a picture, some books in the book. There's a picture of Barnum Brown himself, and he really, I don't know why, there should be a movie made about him. That picture was from 1919, 4 years after the first full T-Rex specimen was revealed in New York City. So more pictures here. He's got benefactors and he was adept at finding fossils. So I highly recommend this book. Even my sainted mother read it. This is, oh, look at that, from the Royal Gorge down in, what's that, Colorado Springs. I wonder if this has a date on it. A lot of bugs. It was great to see. It was beautiful, but there were a lot of bugs. I've never eaten that much protein in my life that flew into my mouth. So the book runs a roughly, let's see, there's this index, selected bibliographies, and it runs 238 pages plus the extras there, the acknowledgments. And so the author there, David K. Randall, did a wonderful job making it, letting you know that this man, what he did. and how it affected paleontology in general, because the T-Rex, as we're about to find out, is the most studied dinosaur in the entire world. There is no other dinosaur that has been they've found more fossils of, or as many of. Hence the reason the whole Nanotyrannus controversy that appears to be settled at this point in time. So what if it's just a pygmy Tyrannosaurus? That's all I got to say. But in the long run, we have a new Tyrannosauroid. I don't mind that. So I got this probably from the Evil Empire. It runs approximately $27.95, but I'm sure it was on sale. And that's our first book. So, it was published. Wait a minute, I'll tell you here. In 2022. So this is the newest book I have so far. At least that we're reviewing today. All right. And our next book here is from one of my favorite podcasters, especially with his partner Izzy Lawrence, Dr. David Hone. I ran across him discussing the Tyrannosaurus Rex on a YouTube channel. He did an hour-long debate, an hour-long, what do you call those things? Lecture about it. And I looked him up and found that he'd had this book. He's got several more out now, including the one about Spinosaurus, which one will hope stops people from drawing them swimming deep in the water with a giant sail on their back, deep underwater. But so this is from 2015. Yes, 2015, and you can buy this again on the Evil Empire or any bookstore you can find. They'll get it for you, I'm sure. 2016 was when it was first published, so it's 10 years old now. 10-year anniversary. Lots of great pictures, but it is very scientific. Look at that Gorgosaurus from Alberta, Canada, eh? And not Calgary, but up there. But other than that, it is not, it's scholarly. So without Izzy's input, it's not as funny as the podcast is. But again, it's worth it if you want to know about tyrannosaurs, how they came about, the clades, just lovely items here. I'm not going to, zoom in on it because I want you to buy the book and support it. And here's a lovely, what I really like. There's the tree of dinosaurs, ending up with birds, of course. And here is the tree of Tyrannosauridae, starting at the bottom there from the, is that from the Triassic? But Tarbosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, Tarbosaurus batar. There's a good book about that too, which I wish I'd have been doing my podcast. See, I could have reviewed that. Books, it's where it's at, folks. So anyway, this one runs £9.99 in Britain and $17 US, $23 Canadian, eh? So there's that. Highly recommended this one. I'm going to highly recommend all of them, so just get used to me saying that. And so our third book, and sadly there are no books that I have that feature the Packy. So Higgintooth is all by himself. There will be no charge. Plus I have to get that off the old computer. We will get some other prehistoric animals, but this one here is my beloved Brontosaurus, which is from, let's see, it's by Brian Swiddick, who has been all over this part of the world, over near Fossil Bed. And where'd this go? This is from 2013. So I've got this again. I think this was used, but it ran $16 US, $18.50 Canadian. So he's written for the Smithsonian, Wired, Slate, Wall Street Journal, blah, blah, blah. He lives in Salt Lake City, Utah. I wish I'd have sent him a message about being in Moab when I was there. It runs 256 pages with an index and acknowledgments. And what's this other thing here? Oh. So it's he loves the Brontosaurus. You might think that. Dragons of the Prime. So it is illustrated. Let's see if I can find some here. Juvenile T-Rex, or is it a Nanotyrannus. I believe this one's probably a juvenile, but I don't know. It's not that big a controversy to me anymore. So there it is. On the road with old bones, new science, and our favorite dinosaurs. So once again, it's all about dinosaurs. I don't know that there's any other prehistoric reptiles in it. The author is a young dinosaur fan. We've seen other authors as young dinosaur fans in various magazines that he's published. 1896. That's what they were, tail draggers. We all thought that. They could twist their heads all around. Keeler here has one right there. It's a keychain I got at Moab. Has not been donated. I thought it might be, but it has not. There's that. Let's see. And now the Apatosaurus excelsus, which took the place of the Brontosaurus. Well, let's go back there. What was Brontosaurus excelsus? Nobody knows Apatosaurus. I mean, if you ask someone a long neck, they're going to say it's a brontosaur. But it goes through. Here are some other prehistoric animals, crocodilomorphs, and things like that. Once again, it's just really a lot of fun. He does talk a bit about movies and how they've changed with the dinosaurs. Yes, Triceratops and Torosaurus, yet another controversy about which, if they're one and the same, would they get rid of the Triceratops because Torosaurus was named first? That would annoy me. There's the Allosaurus fragilis, common in this part of the world in the Morrison Foundation. So I'm sure he's been down here to Colorado as well. But Microraptor, he talks about going all over to these places. So I really enjoy this. It's very personable. It's not that dinosaur fanatic Brian Swiddick enriches the childlike sense of wonder with dinosaurs. I'm all about that because I'm not as scientific as I could be. But, as I'll prove in this next book, which is from the 70s. This is, But I once again, get this book. It shouldn't cost too much. It is, I don't know if it's out of print, but it's just really great. I would be interested in what he views about dinosaur movies from, they've been around 25, The Lost World has been celebrated its 25th or 100th anniversary, and we need to review both the book and the movie. I did review the book at some point. We'll review the original movie, and that'll happen soon because it's worth it, and it's 101 years. So now we have one of probably the oldest book in my collection. I've had this for a very long time. Great Dinosaurs and Other Prehistoric Animals, a Hallmark pop-up book. So the fascinating world of the big dinosaurs recreated with the magic of three-dimensional action mechanics. Now this book the cover is obviously it's been well used and loved. However, surprisingly enough, the inside is in good shape. And this originally cost it cost $3.50. Did someone say, how do you about $3.50? It's the Gorham Loch Ness Monster. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. But it did. They go for about $30 now. I don't know, but so it's got a Dimetrodon, which is a synapsid and not even a dinosaur on the cover, and there's not one in the book at all with that long lizard tongue. I don't get it. But first thing you do is you notice it's a pop-up. So, it doesn't even say. I think that's probably supposed to be a T-Rex too, but it's very slender. And then we get to see. I'll hold it this way so you can see some of the pop-up Stegosaurus. Although some of this is supposed to pop up too. The glue, it needs to be re-glued. Like I said, I don't think I've opened this in probably 45 years, if that. It might be closer to 50 years. And then you have the mechanics here. They come alive. The Brontosaurus deep in the water. moving. I remember one of our puppies just was fascinated by this book, which might be explain why it's beat up a little more than it could have been. Yeah, Brontosaurus. And then we have the Triceratops. No, is that a Triceratops? Well, the horns are long gone. I bet you they fell out decades ago. And I mean, you could remake them, right? I bet. Just because they're paper, just slide them in. I don't know how you do that. But so there's our Triceratops. Once again, we go to close the book there. Oh, the frill is in the way. There we go. The frill is gone. And there's our, what do we have here? The Brachiosaurus. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I missed one. Look, Tyrannosaurus. So some of these have the little action, the pull action. R. And well, these little guys over here, Ornithomimus, aka Struthiomimus, aka whatever they're being called now. Ruff, 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 ruff. We gotta run away, run away, run away. Now we get to the Brachiosaurus. I skipped one. Can't have that. And then we have, oh, there is a Pteranodon, my beloved Pteranodon, who flies. So you can make him fly. And then, boy, this thing is in sad shape. It's been retaped. And it just fell off. I've got to fix that or I'll lose it. So there is the, oh, wait, dang it. I'm going to put him right here. Toodoo, toodoo. And then I need to color that in because I don't know what happened there. So you can see you open the Ankylosaurus. And then finally we get to the last page. It's not very, there's not a lot to it. I mean, it's a kid's book, obviously, a very, a young kid's book. Dinosaur means terrible lizard. But then you have one last picture here, so you can get the scale. Paper mechanics, is that what the words? And layout, Bruce Baker. And but it doesn't say what year it was from. But I think I've had this since the early 70s. And it's written, does it even have a writer on it? I thought it did here in the beginning. Got this book from someone named Evan. Illustrated by Dennis Anderson, written by Jennifer Zobelane. So, yeah, missed that at the beginning. All right, there are our 4 books. I have some other books here that I didn't decide to review, like this one, because they're more fiction-based. So we'll do that. This will be a 2-parter. Next week, we'll have 4 or 5 more books of dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, probably in fiction, movies, things like that that are just more difficult to review because of the sheer size. But this one was fun. But I'll pick up Turu here. And having said all that, we're going to wrap this up momentarily. Okay, so tomorrow we start a new series, having ended Kikaida last week. And since 2026 is the 90th anniversary of the Phantom, the ghost who walks, or known as Kit Walker. And we are going to review the serial from 1943, I want to say, which will be a lot of fun. It's 15 chapters. We have more Phantom stuff than I would have realized, though we aren't really going to. We'll talk about Defenders of the Earth, but we're not going to get into it too much. It's not solo Phantom. But having said all that, my fellow agents, until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.
Why not? Oh, but I don't suppose you ever heard of the Phantom.
Isn't that the native legend about the man who never dies?
Exactly. Whenever there's trouble brewing, he uses those drums to call a meeting of all the tribal leaders.
Does such a man really exist?
Oh, yes, he does.
And the natives really believe him to be immortal?
They do indeed. But naturally, we know him to be nothing more than a clever showman who exploits the ignorant savages' superstitious fear.
Where does this Phantom live?
At the Tonga village, about a day's journey into the interior.
Very interesting indeed. I'd like to run across him sometime.
I think you'll find that rather difficult, Professor.